Hello, Flosstube. This is Cyndy Young. I'm Luhu Stitches, and I'm back for Flosstube Adventure number 10. And welcome back. Thanks for hanging in there with me during my lengthy hiatuses. And for those of you who are turning in for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you'll stick around for everything that I'm going to talk about in just a minute. And kind of want to apologize for taking so long. At the end of my last video, I said that I was, happy Thursday, what did I say? Not happy Thursday. That's tomorrow. Happy February, or have a great February. And my intention was to do another video at the end of February. However, I got sick. Well, the last week of February turned out to be super busy, and I was really hoping that wasn't going to happen. And March 1st, I got sick, and I'm just now starting to feel any kind of better. I still cough periodically. I'm really hoping that that was the only cough that you have to hear. And I hope I can pause this. I'm working with a new video program. It's called, I can't remember what it's called, but hopefully I can put a little title in here and write it down for you. It's a freeware video editing program, and I was not happy with the Windows applications that were available, and so I went hunting for something that was free, and this is what I came up with. So hopefully it works. And hopefully the picture looks better. It doesn't look so soft focus, and is clearer, and you can see all the stitching that I'm going to show you. Anyway, so those are my excuses. However, even while I was sick and I had a few days where all I did was lie in bed, I have been busy, and lots of fun and exciting Luhu Stitches things have been happening. It's been a lot of fun to watch people talk about Nashville, especially Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb. She's just so cute, and I kind of hope I'm her someday. Just overwhelmed by it all, and I get to go to Nashville someday. So hopefully I'll see you there someday now, Stephanie. And Kitten Stitcher, and Kathy Hopperman at Hands On Design, and Beth Twist, and there have been a few others whose names elude me at the moment, but just really exciting. Nashville sounds like it was super exciting. Oh, I know what the other one was. I've started listening to Fiber Talk with Gary. Can't remember his last name, but Gary. And so I got to hear a little bit about Nashville there. And it's been a real pleasure to listen to his insights about needlework, and then the people he interviews, Vonna. I listened to Tanya Berlin yesterday, and she talked about studying at the Royal Embroidery Academy, or Royal School of Embroidery. I don't know, but I had no idea, but it's basically an apprenticeship program. And then I can't remember who it was talking also about the San Francisco Embroidery Guild group facility, which since I have family that live in the Bay Area, I am now going to have to go see. Okay, that was a total aside. Let's get into it. So I'm so excited. I have a bunch of FFOs, finally finished objects. Not just fully finished, but finally they're finished. And I'm going to start out with a couple of my own projects. I apologize. The first one So this is sort of a shop, what's in my shop, what's new in my shop, and I'm just so excited to have some finished projects. My first one is this little object called Walkin' on Sunshine. And actually, I did not stitch this one. My model stitcher and cheerleader extraordinaire, Catherine Velarde in Houston, Texas. Sorry, Catherine, I hope that was okay. I said that. She stitched this for me, and she did a beautiful job. And this is stitched on, oh crud, I should have written this down, but it's more blue, kind of a turquoisey blue than it's showing up on here. It almost looks gray, and that's been actually a problem when Catherine and I were texting back and forth. She'd send me pictures, and it would always show up gray. Oh, I know. I bought 2 pieces of it. Of course, I can't find the other piece now. Well, oh, wait a minute. This is it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, can't see it any better, and for some reason, I don't have the tag on there. All right, well, it's a Lugana. It's from Picture This Plus, and if you look at the pattern on my Etsy shop, I believe I say what the color is. But so it's kind of a turquoisey blue, and it's not coming across that way, but I thought it was a nice little summertime. You got your little ladybug there crawling across, walking on sunshine. So very happy. Oh, there's a thread across there. So there it is. One finished object, fully finished, patterns in my shop. Currently just the PDF pattern, but I have more to say about that in a little while. I just want everybody to know I cleaned this area just so I could sit here. This is sort of my work area. I never work here, but I have a sewing machine, so I do that. My next piece, you may, if you follow me on Instagram, I over the last year have posted snippets of this, little vignettes of this piece. But I am calling it Faith, Hope, and Love, and it's my interpretation of a chalk drawing I did last year for my daughter's school, and it has the final verse of 1 Corinthians 13 on it, and now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. And I had really hoped to have it out at Valentine's Day, but it didn't happen because I've been sick off and on for the last 2 months, but thoroughly sick since March 1st. Anyway, so this is in my shop, and it was stitched by me, and it is on 14 count Aida. Black Aida is what I stitched it on. You'll see okay, which way do I move my arm? Right there. That is stitched on 28 count Dusk Lugana by Picture This Plus. I like stitching on that a whole lot better than I like stitching on this, which is probably why this one took me a year. Yeah. And I'm right in there with Bendy Stitcher. I used a trivet to finish it. That was like me trying not to cough. I'm really hoping that cough isn't coming, but I think it is. Anyway, and then it is coming. Oh man, really wish I wasn't doing that. Anyhow, but you know. Okay, then number 3 in the fully finished is I think this will be my final Luhu bird that I design. I don't know, I said that about the Luau Luhu, but I don't know, I ended up doing this. I had a request from a a customer on Etsy, and she wanted a springtime Luhu, and so I had actually drawn it, and I thought, well, okay, I wasn't going to, but all right, I will. Anyway, he's got his little Easter eggs. I don't know if you can see it. This is very tenuous the way he is in this plate stand. Anyway, this is an egg-shaped plate stand from Ashland. I bought it at Michael's. They had pink and kind of an off-white, and then this blue, and I couldn't resist the blue. It's actually more turquoisey than it's showing up on the screen. Anyway, he's a little wabi-sabi in his frame, but I'm grateful for that term. He's a quick stitch, so if you wanted to do one more quick stitch before Easter, he'd be a great one. He's called Easter Bonnet Luhu, and he is currently a PDF download in my Etsy shop. And link to my Etsy shop will be below, of course. Anyway, so that was my third finish, and I stitched this one. And I'm going to very carefully try and put him down. Oh, and then I got the plate stand at Michael's too. It was just so adorable. I couldn't resist it. Oh, okay. It's gonna stay. It doesn't, the little leg in the back doesn't go out as far as I might have liked it to go out, but okay. Anyway, all right, now fourth and final Luhu stitches finished is my little summer fling, and it's a strawberry with strawberry flowers and little water droplets, and I put buttons on there. So I've been doing these since fall. Here's my little fall fling, and I used some Lady Dots Creates pom-poms to trim this one. And all along I've tried really hard to put this seam right under the, what I call the rickrack right here. And for some reason I like to make this one in 5/8 of an inch. That was my seam allowance, and I didn't think about its proximity to the rickrack. And so I thought, oh, it just looked like really bare right there. And so I found some old buttons out of my button box, and I put those in there with some red thread. The fabric is Morning, I believe it's called Morning Glory, but it's an old pattern. Again, I have it written on the pattern, if you were to get the pattern. This is not in my Etsy shop yet, but hopefully by the end of today, or at least by Friday, I have to substitute teach tomorrow. It will be. Okay, so, and along with little fall fling, little spring fling, I think that's kind of new. It's in my shop. I've posted this on all these on Instagram. And then little winter fling, which really needs a redo. But so they're all there in my shop. You can purchase these both as PDF downloads, and if you would prefer, you can purchase a like this. I am now offering hard copies in my shop. Kind of giving some shop news as I go along here. Anyway, and all 4 of those will be available. Sorry, in my shop. I disappeared there for a minute. Come back. And then, so excited about this one. This is my finally finished object that I have been stitching on for a year. It is not my own design. It's from Plum Street Samplers. It's Paulette Stewart's design. Wilhelmina. So excited. Finally finished her. She's not only finished, she is fully finished. And this is a charger plate I purchased at Michael's. And then I kind of Priscillified it. Excuse me, gonna cough again. I Priscillified it with some black gingham, and I'm going to tell you the story of gingham in just a minute. Black gingham, some fat pink rickrack, and then she's just on there. I'm not as into embellishing as Priscilla is, and I love the way Priscilla does it. But I like a plainer look, but I like the layered look that she does, and the gingham, of course, is just spot on. And it's a charger, and it's just plastic. And I'm like, well, how am I going to hang that up? I mean, there are some little holes up here, but they aren't really big enough. And there's a, I don't know if you can see, you know, there's a difference in height here. So it would be pretty far away from the wall. So I remembered I have these things. Woo! They're plate hangers, and you glue them onto the back of your plate. And I think they come, well, it says Boulder, Colorado, but they're made in England. So you just put some water on here and create your glue. You have to kind of let it sit for a minute. And then you have to make sure the back of your plate's real clean. And then you put it on right where you want it. This is actually a little small for this size of a plate, but I think it's plastic, so it's pretty light. So I think it'll be okay. Anyway, you glue it on there. These won't come off. This is how I have plates hung up. I shouldn't put my elbow on my rickety card table that I have my computer sitting on. I have plates hung up with these, and they've been hung up there for quite a while, and I went to clean them up, and I thought, well, I should check and make sure they're okay. They are solid. They're on there for good. Anyway, so happy about finally having Wilhelmina done, and she's gonna get hung up here today. But you have to let things sit for a while. It's like 24 hours to make sure that the glue is stuck on there. Okay, so WIPs. Of course, I have WIPs going for my shop, but I'm not going to show you any of those or even talk about them. Just going to tell you they exist. A couple WIPs that I've been working on. So in order to maintain my love for cross stitch, I have to stitch other things. I was listening, I can't remember, I think I was listening to a Fiber Talk with Gary and talking about, I think it might have been with Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, just that you can get burned out on needlework when you're doing it as a job. And I realized that the way I maintain my enthusiasm is by stitching other people's designs that I love. I mean, there's just so much out there. It's just mind-boggling. And yeah, and if you looked at any of the Nashville stuff, you're like, yeah, oh, I want this and I want that. I have to be very controlled personally. Anyway, I'm talking about WIPs. So I have about 3 WIPs I'm working on right now. Not that I don't have more. So I'm working on Red, White, and Bloom. And I decided I was going to try stitching in hand with this one. And so right down here, this little bit right here, I started working on, I'm sorry, there we go, stitching in hand with that. And I noticed there's a slight texture differentiation between that and just my usual up and down and up and down. I don't dislike it. In fact, I kind of like it. It gives it more texture. And but it was good. I wanted to try that, practice stitching, not just stitching in hand, but the sewing method. I'm sorry, I should clarify. I tried doing the sewing method while stitching in hand. I stitch in hand and I stitch on hoops. Anyhow, I tried doing the sewing method where you're working just from the front of the fabric. You're not going down and then going around and pulling through and then pushing back up and then coming back around and pulling your needle up. Part of the reason is I've been experiencing some neck and shoulder pain on my right side, and I was talking to my chiropractor about it, and we decided there is some repetitive motion stuff going on for me, and part of it was this and this, and so I thought, well, maybe if I tried the sewing method, it would be better for me. Anyway, I think it's going to take a lot more practice. I'm going to have to find simple things to stitch on in order to get the hang of it. This is, I think, a 14 count Aida that I tea-dyed, this right here, which is why it's all wrinkly. So it's real easy to see what you're doing, and the squares are real obvious. I think it would take me a while to get to the point where I could do it with a linen or a Monaco or any kind of even weave. I don't know. We'll see. But I made a little bit of progress on that. The other thing I've been really excitedly stitching at is I've been working on the Lizzie Kate spring string. And I am stitching this on, I have it written down here, Country French Latte, and I'm not sure, I bought it at Kelsey's Needle Crafts in Placerville, and I'm not really sure who makes it, but it's Country French Latte is the color, and I thought I had this figured out. But look at how close I am to the edge of my fabric. Thankfully, this is the Z right here. I'm not quite done. I'm hoping I can finish this up this evening. But yeah, that's going to be fun to finish. But I think, woohoo, it's going to be really close. Yeah. Sometimes you got it and sometimes you don't. Wabi sabi, right? So here's the finished, in case you were curious. And then I don't remember if I showed you guys this, but I actually finished Spooky String a while back. And I did this on a 16 count Fiddler's Cloth Aida. I'm sorry, can you see that? I'm looking through the fabric. Anyway, there we are. On both of these, a few color changes. I mostly just went to my stash and chose the things that I liked in the same relative color family that Lizzie Kate had them in. Anyway, and then the other thing was I was on Etsy, and oh, who did I buy this from? I can't remember the vendor now. I'll try and put that in here. But I got the Prairie Schooler Hatched in, hello, the cardboard or cardstock variety. I am doing the bunny right here. I'm working on the bunny. And I'm doing the called for colors on the called for material, which is, I think it's 18 count antique white Aida, which I have a lot of, so it was perfect. There's a template on the back for making the egg. And there we go. So I'm working on that. I was pretty excited to find this. I have in my cart in the same person's shop the bunny, it's Prairie Schooler bunny something. Don't remember. But, you know. Well, this leads into haul. This is a WIP, and this is also haul, or stitchquisitions, or whatever you want to call them. Stuff I probably didn't need to buy, but I did anyway. I got Bitsy Bop number 3 because cherries. That's why. Kelly's going to kill me. She keeps coming out with these cute things. I just no offense, Kelly, I can't go look at your shop anymore because there's always something. Although I do go, I watch you and Mama Joan. Anyway, as always, just stellar work. Nice little place to keep your threads in the plastic area. I think she uses an interfacing that kind of, or felt that you can stick to. And then under her little logo, there's a magnet so that you can have a place for your needle to land every once in a while. It's really nice. It has the snaps right here and just a really well-made Bitsy Bop from That's So Kelly on Etsy. I thought I was going to cough again. And then my sister loves birds. She's really gotten into birding, and she's taken classes and gone on field trips. And I wanted to make her a bird, or stitch her a bird. I could have designed her one, and actually I have designed a bird, but this was just so darling. It was blue and couldn't resist. This is from the Little Stitcher on Etsy, and it was a PDF download. Really cute. I think she might be Italian or something. I got the feeling that she wasn't based here in the United States. I don't know why. Oh, possibly because part of the instructions are in Italian or French. It looks like Italian. Anyway, okay. Then I bought some fabric. I have a project I'm doing that I'm trying to find the perfect fabric for. This is Picture This Plus Tarnish Cashel Linen in 28 count. I've decided 28 count is my preferred count because it ends up being 14 count and I can see it just fine. I'm not sure how well this is. This is coming out more gray. It's got more of a greeny blue cast to it. And this is not Picture This Plus, but it's Smoky Pearl Cashel. Oh, and I like Cashel linen. That's the other thing. There we go. And it's 28 count. And I got these from 123 Stitch. Okay, now I have to tell you my Gingham Saga. So I wanted gingham for Wilhelmina. And I wanted some gingham for some other projects. I have a drink here that I'm going to go drink of. It's cold, so I'm really hoping what it doesn't do is make me cough more. But just kind of quells the little post-nasal drip in the back of my throat. Okay, so I thought, well, where do you go for gingham? You go to a fabric store, right? So I go over to Joann's, and for me, I just need to note, it's an hour-long drive to get to Joann's, Michael's. We have Craft Warehouse here, and we now have Hobby Lobby and in Medford, Oregon. So I went to Joann's thinking, well, that's the most logical place to go get fabric, right? So I walked around Joann's, and I could not find gingham fabric. They did have homespun type fabric, but it wasn't gingham, like bright ginghams. They didn't have, at least I couldn't find them if they were there. They had some like printed type ginghams, but you know, a gingham is woven. It's not, so it's the same on both sides of the fabric. So there's not one side that's the wrong side necessarily, right? I couldn't find it at Joann's. So right next door to Joann's is Craft Warehouse, and they have a little bit of fabric. They have quilting fabric. So I went over there. They didn't have it. The lady there said, well, you could go to Walmart. And I'm like, no offense, I hate going to Walmart, and it's my last ditch. It will be my last choice. Anyhow, went, she said, or you could go to Hobby Lobby, and it's a little out of the way. And I went to Hobby Lobby before Christmas, and I was overwhelmed. It's huge. They moved into half of an old Costco building. There's a furniture store in the other half. Anyhow, I thought, I don't really want to go to Hobby Lobby, but I really need some gingham, and I'm here in Medford. So I went over to Hobby Lobby, and it's a nice store. I like Hobby Lobby, and they play nice music and everything. They had a whole table of gingham. I was over the moon, and I got a half a yard. I didn't get a half a yard of every color because I have some colors already. I have red and brown. Anyway, but I got all of these in the black, which is the one I was really looking for. I was looking for black gingham because I wanted to finish Wilhelmina with it. Okay, apparently the drink didn't really help that much. Anyway, that is the Gingham Saga. Don't bother going to Joann's. Just go over to Hobby Lobby and get all the pretty colors. So I'm going to have to go back and get a dark blue so that I can have a red, white, and blue something in the future. I have a little idea bubbling in the back of my brain. So, and then, so that was kind of my haul. But in the process of finishing, I have this tool that I use to help iron my stitched work. Ironing stitchery is a bit of a frightening thing because you don't want to smash your stitches. And I don't remember, my mom got this for me. I think she found it at a quilt store. So when in doubt, go to the quilt store. They may have some little notion or tool that is just what you're looking for. So this thing, it's like made out of I want to say a silicone weave type thing, but it's not plasticky feeling. And it's got a border, bias tape border around it. Anyway, I put this down on my ironing board, and then I take my needlework and put it face down on this. And what happens is all of these little gritty things in here create kind of a safe place for the threads to nest and not get smushed against a flat piece of fabric on your ironing board. And then I don't let the full weight of my iron rest completely on top of the actual stitching. I'll do it all the way around. I'll let my full weight, and I usually have the steam on, but I just kind of gently hover, just barely touching that needlework, just hover over the needlework, and that'll get most of, if not all of your wrinkles out. If you have wrinkles within the stitching, like I am probably going to have with this, I'm probably going to have, wrinkles within the stitching here. So that'll be a nice way to get those wrinkles out. And then of course, when you mount things like on the board, you pull on them and it helps get that out. That's my tip of the day. It's called, hold on, it's called a Bow Nash ironing mat. And if you're looking for it, I know Missouri Star Quilts has it, but I bet you can find it at any quilt store. And I'm not sure if you could find it at Amazon. They had some other things on Amazon, but that's the, I don't know if you can see, that's the packaging that came in. Bow Nash ironing mat. Reusable nonstick ironing mat. Anyway, it gives lots of ways to use it. So I wanted to tell you about that. Okay, so a couple other crafts. Of course, I went to Michael's because I got the charger and the little plate that Luhu bird is stitched on. But I, for some reason this year, I just really wanted to go wild decorating for spring. And slowly but surely around my house, I am decorating for spring, but it's taking a while. So I got, first of all, this is my first creation, a bucket of bunny. And I got, this is that, the carrots are actually a pick that I kind of mushed around and stuck down in some foam, floral foam. This is a bucket I had. Here's a little bunny. I don't know what these, have you seen these at Michael's? And they have, sometimes they're brown, but this one was white. And I'm not sure what they're made out of. Like, it's acrylic, but it's not soft. Anyway, there he is. Little bunny that I bought at Michael's for decorating. He's like hard. Like maybe he's probably foam underneath. And then I got some moss to put in the top. This was, I got the tulips at Hobby Lobby. These particular tulips at Hobby Lobby. And it's just one thing, and I smushed it down in the floral foam. And then this is just like green, plastic greenery. Anyway, I was kind of proud of my bucket of bunny. There he is. And I don't know, maybe it needs a bow on it or something. But, oh, and then there was this little pick. I got this at Michael's, the little egg pick. Anyway, that was one thing. I did buy the tulip stuff to make a tulip wreath, Priscilla tulip wreath. I'm not going to show you all the tulips, but here's the wreath, and it's stuck to some garland I bought to put around my windows. And I bought eggs. I did buy some ribbon, and then I bought, what I really want to show you is this really cool basket. It's pink. And I was thinking I was going to put the spring string in there, but I think this basket's too big for it. It's not very big. I don't know. Maybe I'll mess around with it and see what I come up with. So as you go, that's me. So that was my other haul from Michael's. Anyhow, okay. Fun. I told you about the Bow Nash ironing mat. I'm just checking my list. I've talked about my new patterns. I talked about the fact that in my Etsy shop, I am now offering hard copy patterns. Not every single pattern has a hard copy yet. If you would like to, go to my Etsy shop and you see a pattern there that you would love to have in hard copy and I haven't posted it yet, it could be that I have actually adapted it and it's still at the printers and not ready to post, or I just haven't done it yet, or there's a couple patterns I don't think I'm going to put in hard copy, but if there's interest shown, I will. So I'm pretty excited about this whole venture because, and the reason I'm offering hard copies is because I am now being represented through Yarn Tree and Hoffman Distributing. Very excited. I don't think everything's up at Hoffman yet. So if you click on my name on the Hoffman list, or if your LNS does, it's nothing will happen because there's nothing in there yet. I know because I checked. Anyhow, but everything is in Yarn Tree, and you can go to Yarn Tree. There's currently 8 patterns at Yarn Tree. Soon to be 13. There will be 13 patterns at Hoffman, and you will be able to buy those patterns at my Etsy shop as well. So the patterns I showed you today will be in there, and also a few others. So my Aunt Bee, Lovebirds, the Bluebirds, which is a newer pattern, the Bluebirds. 2 of the Luhu birds, 3 of the Luhu birds. There's a patriotic Luhu bird, the original Luhu bird, and the Easter bonnet Luhu bird. Can't be, This one will be in there. Why is that so hard to do? There we go. That will be in there. I don't know. Go look. Anyway, I'm losing steam, and I'm trying not to cough. Anyway, so I am so excited about this because getting noticed on Etsy as a smaller shop, even though I'm adding stuff constantly, it feels like probably not as much as I think I am, is really, really hard. I'm not crying. That's my voice crying because I have a cough. Anyway, and it's frustrating. And I feel like I'm getting better feedback when I go to shops and show them my stuff than I am on feedback on Etsy, just because I usually, when I go look, I'm usually like on page 6 or 7. I don't know about you, but I usually don't go past page 5 when I'm looking for stuff. I've bought some advertising through Etsy and I've gotten a lot of likes. It's just like, how do I translate this into actual people buying stuff? And this is not a plea to go buy anything. I want you to buy something because you like it and you want to stitch it. But I just think I haven't found my audience yet. And so I'm hoping through the distributors who seem very enthusiastic about my patterns that will become a reality. So have you ever been like, feel like you're on the edge of something really exciting happening and you're not quite sure what it is and it hasn't happened yet? That's where I'm at. Anyhow. I almost forgot. So I go shop on Etsy all the time. I bought some, I can't remember if I was on Instagram, and I follow a gal named Whitney Schaefer. She's got the Creative Palace. Anyway, saw this. It may have been something, I think I favorited her shop in the past, and this came up in my, how Etsy sends you stuff to let you know that there's something you like there. Anyway, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist the llama with the heart-shaped sunglasses. He had to come live with me. Anyway, so I ordered from her, and then she sent me a little 10% off coupon. So I thought, I'm going to go buy some more. And I'm looking through, and I saw this cute little needle minder. It's really tiny. It's probably good, like if you have a small project. Sometimes you don't want something too heavy on your project. Anyway, and she always does something to the back too. There's a tinier flower on the back. See, there's a little tiny flower on the back of the llama. And then my sister got me turned on to this one person on Instagram. It's called FOMO the Cat. Anyway, Whitney had, I don't know if she knows this is FOMO the Cat, but she had a FOMO the Cat. So I'm giving this one to my sister, and it's got a cute little flowery back to it too. Anyhow, so here's Whitney's card. You can go find her on Etsy, The Creative Palace. She's got tons and tons and tons of cute needle minders. And I do put them on projects, but I put them on the post of my lamp, my Verilux lamp. And it's a safe place for me to put my needles. Because I have lost a couple needles. It's been just a little frightening. And I'm like, okay, my husband can't know I lost this needle in the couch. Gotta find the needle. Anyway, I think that's it. We're at almost 45 minutes. I hope the sound is good. I'm trying to up my game on the Flosstube thing. I hope the sound is good. I hope the picture is decent. I hope you were able to bear with the coughing and you found that what I talked about interesting. And I just want to thank everybody for coming by and saying hello. So I have questions for you. I want a conversation. So my questions are, first of all, how do you stitch? Do you stitch in hand? I'm sure this is a question that gets asked a lot. Do you stitch in hand? Do you use a hoop? Do you use a Q-snap? Do you use a frame? Um, do you like small projects or big projects? I think we all like both because there is the satisfaction of completing a small project. Are you more drawn to samplers? Or do you like a picture, like a Haid picture? Or do you like both? Um, the harder the better, or keep it easy for me? I mean, part of this, I'm just curious what other people like. And part of this is a little bit of market research. I think that's it. Just answer some questions. Talk to me. I love it. Anyhow, so I have a cat at each door scratching to come in, and I think I've talked long enough at 45, now almost 46 minutes, and I just want to wish everyone happy stitching and enjoy your spring and have a good Easter, and I'm going to try my best to be back in a month. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Talk to you later. Bye.